That going. So here is Destiny, and we'll see what this avatar is like. There's not as much customization in this one, but there is customization. Well, I shouldn't say that. There is a lot of customization, but it's kind of irrelevant because you put a helmet on when you're done with your face. So I don't know.
I see. So when you're playing, do you see yourself? What view actually do you have?
Well, usually this game goes back and forth between first person, which is like you see what your character would, and it also goes back between that and third person. Like when you're at this spot called the Tower, which is like kind of like your home base, you know, you're not in a mission. It's kind of like the town or the village in a sense. You see from third person, which is kind of like the behind you view. So you see your back as you run around. And you can interact with other online characters and whatnot. And but when you go into missions, you see first person, like through your own eyes type thing. So I'll show you the both here.
Okay.
This will just take another moment while it updates. It's the thing about games, they're always improving and adding to stuff, so constantly updating.
So in order to play, all you really need is a fast internet connection?
Yeah. I mean, they say you should have like, I think it's 5 MB per second they recommend, but I mean, I have quite a bit more than that right now, but I know like before, you know, I've even had only like 3 megabytes and it's worked fine, you know. But the higher the better, you know. So you stay in sync with your other characters that you're playing with. You don't have any kind of internet problems and whatnot. Came to a crawl here.
Well, one question I was planning to ask you later was, what's your favourite game?
My favorite game?
Is there an all-time favourite?
Yeah, it's a very hard question. I really like Chrono Trigger, which is an old game from Super Nintendo, and it's an RPG, a role-playing game, and it's kind of cool. You play as this guy, and you jump around through time. Like you end up getting the ability to travel through time, and you go into the past, into the future, and it's like Back to the Future, the movie. Like, I mean, it takes place in a fantasy world, kind of like Lord of the Rings, but you end up like Back to the Future. You go into the past and you accidentally messed up the future. So when you get back to the future, you're like, you know, what's going on? You gotta go back in time and fix what you did, and then you screw something else up, and you're constantly jumping back and forth. And then you think it's you all the while, but then you find out it's this, you know, this crazy mastermind guy who's actually doing it, just happened to be while you were traveling through time as well. So now you're chasing him through time and trying to stop him and fix what he's done, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So.
Okay, so complex.
Yeah.
Twists. You like the plot twists.
Exactly, and a lot to remember and a lot to figure out. I mean, the actual gameplay is quite easy. It's such an old game. I mean, that's from the early 90s. It's, you know, it's like really like one button push to attack, you know, that kind of thing. Like it's just 8-bit graphics, like, or 16, I guess, but you know, you just very basic, like Tetris almost. And then like in terms of looks, I mean, it definitely looks better than Tetris, but you know what I mean. And like kind of like the old Super Marios, you know. And then but I mean, in terms of story, it was like, you know, I mean, the story itself was so in depth, like it would put almost anything in Hollywood to shame. Like it's just something it's of such a magnitude, like it's something you wouldn't even be able to put to screen, you know. Like it really is. It's kind of like people say with a lot of like Stephen King books, like it's hard to translate his stuff to screen properly, and a lot could be said about a lot of these games, really, you know?
Because there's so much detail.
Yeah, there is. I mean, you know, the only way they can really do it is just to make something like, you know, an action movie where it's like, you know, you just run around and shoot them up. Like, I mean, you really can't get all the detail that's involved in a good game, you know, across on film.
You said something, all the things that you have to remember. What do you mean?
Just in terms of story. Like, I mean, it's very similar to reading a big book, you know, like it's so in-depth and so much happening. and so much subtleties too, like so many subtleties happening that, like, you know, if you're playing a game that's 50, 80 hours long and it's all story related, you know, you've really got to keep track. I mean, you might be doing a certain task in the game that takes you 10 hours worth of playing to complete, so you really have to remember your main objective, and this is just one little side thing that you're doing to, you know, kind of fulfill that and get closer to the finish, you know. So there is a lot to remember, but a lot of games will have like journal sections where you can go back and reread like the things you've done and where you're heading and that kind of stuff, so it really makes it you know, easier. But it is a lot to remember.
Another thing I wanted to ask was about working in teams.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you meet? How do you choose who's going to be in your team?
Yeah. I mean, you can, if you play with friends, it's a little different. But if you want to play with random internet people, like just anyone else around the world, you can just, you know, join game type thing, and it'll just pair you with random people, and then you'll have a headset on where you can talk to them, you know, talk to each other, and you can go about it that way. But I'll show you here how this game works in particular, and most of the games are similar. This is my online character for Destiny, Houses Maximus.
Nice name.
And actually, that's the name I have going across all the consoles, like Xbox, PlayStation. That's kind of my guy.
Okay.
So this guy is a Titan. He's a level 24. You can make multiple characters and they would all show here, but I just used the one guy. So yeah, I'm a level 24. That's my gun. Like underneath my helmet, I am detailed.
Can we see, or can you not see?
I can show you in the
now?
game. I can't show it
okay.
right here, so let me log in. So this is me in orbit. This is my spaceship. Set destination. This will bring up the world map. You can go strike list, the Crucible. This is just like a little separate mission. This is the Crucible is just kind of like online deathmatch. So that would just be me and a team of 4 or 8 other online players versus another team of 4 or 8 online players, and it's just on a small little map. And first team to get X amount of kills against the other team wins. So it's just kind of like online deathmatch in a sense. You can also play like, what do you call it, like obstacle games or games with a point, you know, like capture the flag. Like we'll each have a base. My team would have to get to their base, steal the flag, bring it back to our base to get a point. First team to 3 wins, that kind of thing. And the matches are usually anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes.
So the death match, there's no points involved.
No,
what
it's
do you
just,
get
well,
out
you'll
of
get
it?
like an online rank. Like the better you do, your rank goes up. So then it's kind of really, in the end, it's just kind of a bragging rights thing. It's like, oh, do you play Destiny? Yeah, I'm a level 16. Huh, I'm a 42. You know, like it's just literally just bragging rights. But it's fun. You know, it's fun to do that. And you can really do a lot of good co-op, like working together in that too. Like come up with strategies like, okay, they're all in their base. We'll shoot them head on, distract them. You two run around the sides, come in from behind, you know, that kind of thing. And it's fun. And but anyway, here you can go to. This is us, the tower. This is kind of like your home base. You're in orbit above the Earth, kind of like the moon. And but you're not the moon because that's right there. And then you can go to any one of these places and do like storyline missions to progress the story. But anyway, let's go to the tower, and when you're in the tower, this is where you can meet like other random people. Like I don't know if you caught that, but at the bottom there it said tower, the last station or something like that, /social. Like so you can actually go and meet people here, and which is kind of neat. And once you're there, you can either meet, you know, the people that are your friends already, or you can meet random people online and say, hey, do you want to go play this mission? Yeah, sure, let's go. And then you can join each other in what you call a party, and then at that point you can, as soon as whoever's the leader of the party type thing, there's always somebody appointed in charge. When he chooses to go to another world to do a mission, you automatically go with him.
Okay. Thinking about demographics now, I have in mind that playing video games is kind of very male dominated. I mean, is that your experience? Are girls, are women into this?
Yes and no. I mean, it is definitely male dominated. Yeah, there's my guy head on.
Oh.
Yeah. It is definitely male dominated, but I wouldn't say in the sense that because it is male dominated, like literally the word dominated. I would say just in a sense, it's just something that appeals to a higher percentage of guys more than girls. Like, I mean, I know a ton of girls who love games and play games regularly. Like my wife does, she loves it. She has her own accounts and avatars and all that. And but I think it's just something that, I don't know, like we were just, when we were kids more, maybe when we were younger, it was more tailored to guys then too. I don't know, but maybe it was just more encouraged for guys to play by parents, you know, instead over girls. I really don't know, but there definitely is a higher percentage of males who play. There's no doubt about that. But there is a lot of girls who play.
So of course there must be female avatars to choose from.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like when I make my character, like this guy here, or any character, the first thing you can do is pick, do you want to be a guy or a girl? Like, you know, it's your first option, and then you go from there.
Have you ever chosen a female avatar?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, actually, I mean, more often than not, I choose a guy, but I mean, that's just kind of a mix of, you know, what I'm used to, because I'm a guy, I guess, and also a lot of times, like we said earlier, I do try to make them look like me. I didn't with this guy, but a lot of times I will make them look like me because it's kind of funny. But my friend, a good friend of mine, Scott, who I play with regularly, he always chooses a girl, and like constantly, whatever game we play, he always makes himself as a girl, and I have no idea why, and you know, or if there's any reason. And we actually, me and another friend actually asked him that once, like, is there any like specific reason why you do? And he's just like, I never really thought of it. So, it's just something he does. Like, I don't know, maybe he finds, like, here, let's run around and look at these guys. Like, these are all other online players. That's a girl right there. That's actually what I wanted to check. Let's see how many girls there are here. And look, yeah, you can even dance here. Let's see. Oh no, wave at her.
You pointed.
Now I wave. There we go. We can dance. Not just because it's a girl. It's just something you can do with anybody.
Showing off.
Another girl there. Just ran by.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can dance with this guy. Weed In Classic. That's his name.
And so, in terms of customization, what can you choose? Like, what did you select? What parts can you select?
Well, you can select, like, this game didn't have the massive customization that a lot of other ones do. But, for example, we choose his gender, right off the bat, guy or girl. We choose, and then from there, you can choose skin tone, you know, anywhere from, like, bright white to really dark, you know, so you can pick anything in between. And then, actually I should try to get in the light more so we can actually see him here.
Have you got face paint on? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I got a face paint on him. You can actually choose, like, your hair. Like, do you want short hair? Do you want long hair? Medium hair? You can choose the color. You can choose your eye color. You can choose the shape of your mouth. Do you want plump lips? Do you want little, like, next to no lips? You know, like, same with ears, big ears, small ears, nose, hair color, eye color. Height. You can pick height, build, like, are you a little stocky, are you muscular, are you plump? Like, you can pick all that.
Your clothes?
Clothes, not so much with this. A lot of games, you can pick, like, a basic color for, like, the starting out clothes. But see, a lot of games, the point of the games are to actually upgrade your armor and stuff so you're stronger, so your clothes are constantly changing. Like what I'm wearing here, this armor, this is nothing. Like, I'm level 24, this is nothing what it looked like at level 1. Like, I'm much bigger, stronger, so it's just something, if you did do that customization, you're more or less just doing it for nothing, in a sense, like wasting time. But it's mostly just physical appearance.
So are there any accessories that you can choose? I see you've got like a belt,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
gun.
If we look here, you can go into my menu. Let's look at my guy here. There he is. So if you look, I can choose what gun I want, and I can upgrade the weapons, make them stronger as I play. Here's my armor. This is where every time you get new armor, it'll appear over here, and you can either equip it if it's stronger. You can do whatever you like. My belt here. See that little drapey thing? Mm-hmm. This is Mark of the Bulwarks, and it's a rare thing. That's why I got it equipped. And you get these things for like completing missions. Mm-hmm. So here's some other ones that I had. Like, see, that one's only a level 6. This one you needed to be a level 20 to wear, so it wasn't even an option for me to wear this back then, at level 6. And and then you can also customize. This little droid thing helps me. Like, he's kind of like my little robot companion that follows me around. I can pull him out of my pocket and he floats and talks. And this is what he looked like originally, just all silver, but I got this special customization thing here. He looks kind of cool. I got these speeder bikes, kind of like hover motorbikes that for on the planet, and these are the different ones I have. You can customize them. This is the one I use now. This here, your emblem. This is what shows up here. You can customize these, your name tags, like the background color, the emblem, all that stuff. Those are like some of the different emblems I've unlocked. But as you play, you can unlock more and more options for customizing yourself. Yep. And most games are like that. Like, the more you play, the more levels you play, the more each level you might get a new thing or two and a different way to customize yourself. Halo is really big for that. Like, by the time you finish playing Halo, your character looks nothing like when you start playing Halo. So it's kind of cool if you're playing, like I said before, online deathmatch, like team against team, most kills wins. You could be fighting somebody and you'd be like, where the hell did he get that helmet? Like, how did he get that? And then, you gotta try to find out, and you're like, oh, he did this in the game. Like, it's kind of cool. And then it gives you something to want to play for if you want to get that same kind of thing, right?